Hi, my angels, it's Hailey Reese, and I hope that you guys are having a fantastic morning, afternoon, night, whatever it is for you, and today's video finally reaches you. My voice is currently kind of hanging on by a thin string. I'm at that weird phase where I don't know if I'm gonna lose it or if it's coming back, but nonetheless, I am so excited to be filming today's video because we're gonna be diving into a paranormal game that's really become a trend on TikTok, and ever since it has been so highly requested by so many of you. I have so much that I want to dive into where this game is concerned, and I really want to talk with you guys about it because ever since I discovered this trend on TikTok, and ever since you guys brought it to my attention, I should say rather, I have not stopped thinking about it because there's so many factors of it that have just had my mind going a million miles a minute to the point where I spent around 40 minutes on FaceTime with Grams this morning talking with her about the whole thing. So I can't wait to talk with you guys about it today. With that being said, before we get into today's video, I would very quickly like to thank my video sponsor, Function of Beauty. And I am so excited to be working with Function of Beauty again because for those of you who know me, you guys know that I love taking care of my hair. I am a hair person. I would rather leave the house with my hair done and no makeup than the house with a full face of makeup and not my hair done, which is kind of contrary to my look right now, but you guys know I love taking care of my hair. And hair care, like many things in life, doesn't fall into a one-size-fits-all category, which is what I love about Function of Beauty because Function of Beauty allows you, after taking a quick 2-minute survey, to outline all of your different hair goals, your wants, your needs, your desires, even down to the color of your shampoo and conditioner, the name, where is it? On the bottle, and the scent of your shampoo and conditioner, which is just so incredible. On top of that, there's no parabens, sulfates, GMOs, or toxins, and it is completely vegan and cruelty-free, which is incredible. I steer clear of sulfates and anything of that nature. They also offer hair care products. This right here is their leave-in product, and I cannot even tell you guys how incredible my hair has been feeling since utilizing these products. Mostly because the entire process of getting this shampoo and conditioner is customizable. So I put that I have straight, fine, dry hair, and my personal goals were to fix split ends, hydrate, lengthen, shine, and soothe my scalp. And this time around, I chose the cherry fragrance. Not everybody has the exact same hair care wants, needs, desires, or hair types as one another, so why should everybody be using the exact same shampoos and conditioner? Which is exactly why I encourage you guys to click the link down in my description to receive 20% off. And I really think you guys are gonna love Function of Beauty just as much as I do. So thank you so much to Function of Beauty for sponsoring, and without further ado, let's proceed to much darker subject matter. So the game that I'm talking about for today's video is called Red Door, Yellow Door, or the Doors of Your Mind. There's a couple of different names for the game, but how to participate in it and how to play it is pretty well the same across the board. Now, I was a little bit confused when people started asking me about my opinions on this game, like so many people at once, because when you look on YouTube, a lot of people who have played the game or had experiences with the game had it years ago. So I couldn't quite understand why exactly now so many people were interested in my thoughts on this game. And that was until I went on TikTok and happened to see a whole trend of people playing this game. Now, there's people who believe that this game is nothing more than your own mind creating what it wants to create and knowing that you're supposed to visualize things, which is quite possible. The human brain is incredibly powerful, and that would make sense. But there are other people who have had traumatic experiences with this game. So we're gonna read 2 different websites explaining how to play the game. That's not me encouraging you to play it by any means, but before I talk about it, I want you guys to understand exactly what the game is and what the precautions are that you're supposed to take before playing, etc. And then we're gonna dive into my thoughts on the game, and I got a lot to talk about, so let's get right on into it. Now I'm gonna read you guys 2 different websites explaining how to play this game because there are slight differences in the 2, even though they're very similar in a lot of ways. I kind of want you to see what those who wanna play this game may or may not have seen on the game. So the very first one says, the most dangerous games, the doors of your mind. This game is sometimes referred to as Doors to the Mind. It's not nearly as dangerous as most rituals tend to be, but it's still best to proceed with caution. After all, you never know what might be lurking in the corners of your own head. As always, play at your own risk. Players: 1 principal, 1 partner. Requirements: a quiet room, a few candles, matches or a lighter, an alarm clock, a pillow, which is optional, or a recording device, also optional. Instructions: begin whenever you feel most relaxed. Find a quiet room, dim the lights, and set up your candles. Use the matches or lighter to light the candles, being mindful of fire hazards as you do so. If you'd like to record your experience, set up your chosen device and begin recording. Set the alarm to go off 1 hour from the time you begin. Have your partner sit on the floor. You yourself should lie down with your head in your partner's lap facing up. You may use the pillow if you'd like. Close your eyes. Have your partner begin rubbing your temples in slow, circular motions. The tempo should be steady, the overall feeling relaxing, keeping your eyes closed. Your partner will function as your guide for this next portion. Have them speak the following words to you. You are at one end of a very long corridor. There are numerous doors on both sides of this corridor, spanning the entire length. I want you to explore these doors and the rooms behind them. Describe to me what you see, hear, touch, and feel with great detail. At this point, you should find yourself in the corridor, exploring the doors that line it and the rooms kept behind the doors. As you go, describe each and everything you encounter. There are no rules as to how to best explore the corridor and its rooms. You may, however, find the following tips helpful. Pay as much attention to yourself as to your surroundings. What are you wearing? What's in your pockets? Do you have anything meaningful about your person? Whatever you find, it must be useful. Take a good look and feel and so on of each door before you open it. What color is it? What size? What shape? What does the handle look like? Is the handle an unusual temperature? These details and more might provide hints as to what waits behind the door. You don't have to open every door. Trust your instincts. If you feel it would be unwise to open it, simply don't open it. When the alarm goes off, your partner should guide you back to the real world. The exact words spoken to do so are up to your partner, but in all cases, the corridor should recede and any doors that haven't opened should be closed by the end. Once you've returned, blow out the candles and turn off the recording device if using. You may listen to your recording at your own leisure, or you may choose to never listen to it. It's entirely up to you. This game may be played as many times as you desire. After you've played it enough times, you may no longer require the alarm clock. Your partner should be able to determine when you're ready to make your way back. If you enter a room filled with clocks, do not touch any of the clocks and leave the room immediately. If you encounter an old woman, do not speak to her and leave the room immediately. If you encounter a man in a suit, particularly one who inspires feelings of unease or dread, describe him immediately to your partner. Your partner should then end the session, regardless as to whether the alarm clock has gone off. If your partner is unable to end the session, do not speak to him and leave the room immediately. Some doors may be locked or blocked. Check your person to see if you have a key. If you don't, however, don't worry. You may simply not be ready to deal with whatever is behind it yet. Leave the door closed and move on. It is not unheard of for people encountered in specific rooms to lock you inside. One player recounted an instance in which his partner, in this case his sister, was required to shake him violently in order to pull him back to reality. A word of advice: tread carefully. Your mind is not always your friend. And that is the very first one that explains it. But before we talk about it, I'm going to dive into the next one, which isn't nearly as long, and kind of give you 2 different websites' perspectives on this game. This one says, Red Door, Yellow Door. Red Door, Yellow Door is a scary paranormal game to play at sleepovers. The ritual is also known as Black Door, White Door, or Doors of the Mind. One person acts as a guide and puts you in a trance and leads you through doors and rooms in your mind. To play this game, you need 2 people. One is the guide, the other is the subject. Other people can sit quietly and watch. Step 1. The guide sits down on the floor cross-legged with a pillow on their lap. You lie on the ground with your head on the pillow and you close your eyes. Step 2. Raise your hands in the air and try to relax. Your eyes must be kept closed throughout the entire game. Step 3. The guide starts to massage your temples with their fingers in a circular motion while chanting red door, yellow door, any other colored door, over and over and over again. which I should note, you guys, it seems as though this is the version that everybody's been playing as of recently, because all of the videos that I've seen have this chant at the beginning of it. But let's proceed. If there are other people in the room watching, they should chant too. Step 4. When you feel yourself slipping into a trance and you can see a room or doors in front of you, lower your arms. This is the signal for the chanting to stop and the game will begin. Step 5. The guide asks you questions, getting you to describe your surroundings and prompting you to open doors. Whenever the guide asks a question, you should answer it. Here are some examples of the type of questions the guide should ask. Are you in a room? Describe this room. What color are the doors? How do you feel about the purple door? Open the purple door and go through it. For some examples. Some advice. If you encounter people in the rooms, it may be wise to not interact with them. Usually they turn out to be evil or try to trick you. 2. If you find yourself in a room full of clocks, leave immediately. Clocks can trap you. 3. You can go wherever you want, but it is better to go up than to go down. 4. Light things in light colors tend to be better than dark things dark colors. 5. If you become trapped in a room, you have to try to wake up or you may be trapped in that trance forever. 6. They say if you die in the game, you could also die in real life. 7. If you encounter a man in a suit who makes you feel uneasy, you should end the game immediately. 8. In an emergency, if you are unable to wake up, it may be necessary for the guide to shake you roughly until you can be awoken. And that's it for that particular site, but like I said, it seems as though that's exactly what people are following. So, from what I've seen from all of the different research that I was doing and the digging that I was doing on this particular game, a lot of people are playing it relatively close to what's being said in that second website that I read to you guys. They'll lay down, they'll put their arms in the air, everybody will chant, and then when their arms go down, the game has in essence began. Now, I've seen plenty of different reactions. I've seen some reactions that I think are fake. I think it's just for the shock factor, but I'm not one to speak. Plenty of people think that things that have been very real to me are fake. And then I've also seen some where people seem unbothered or as though they thought it was just their own mind. But one thing that I've heard from all of the different people sharing their experiences is that if you don't believe that you're going to fall into a trance, if you don't believe that this is a real experience, you probably won't have an experience, or if you do, it will just be your own mind creating an imagery. Much like if you visualize a life of your dreams, you can close your eyes, you can see it. But those who have actually supposedly had an experience with this game say it's not so much as an imagination, that they don't have control over what they're seeing. And some people have been traumatized by their experience with this game. What I personally think of this game and what I think is so dark about this game isn't necessarily the concept of getting trapped in this trance or the concept of encountering a demon, but rather the concept of going to corners of your mind that you may suppress or that you don't want to visit. I've heard of people who, while playing this game, have found themselves in rooms with traumas that they weren't able to face yet in their life, find themselves in front of people who have wronged them or hurt them, or memories that they didn't even remember that they'd had. And I think what's so dark about this game, in my personal opinion, and I'm interested to hear what you guys think, is that the mind is your real enemy here. You go into a trance and you visit rooms with doors in your mind, some rooms that you get trapped in, some rooms that you can't open. And I think, at least for me, what makes it so traumatizing and so terrifying is that you're being guided by somebody to open this door, describe this feeling, and you may be coming face to face with dark corners of your own mind. You may be facing demons, but those demons are your own personal demons. It's not necessarily a demon looking to possess you. Now, on the paranormal side, though, one thing that I will say is anytime you are vulnerable, anytime you open up your mind, anytime you're open to an experience, even myself included with things that I do, you pose a risk of something taking advantage of that. Does that mean it's gonna happen? No, absolutely not. It's the same concept as a Ouija board. You could play a Ouija board 50 million times and not have an experience, and somebody else could touch that Ouija board one time and welcome something into their life. But I really feel like for me, what's unsettling about this game and this trend is that it could bring forth trauma. It could bring forth memories and thoughts and emotions and people that you'd, in essence, kept behind closed doors in your mind, that you'd put away. I don't know. To me, that's what I find most terrifying about this. Is it the most dangerous game that you could possibly play? I wouldn't say so. You don't put your blood, you don't make an initiation, you don't summon something, but you do open up your mind. And like it said, your mind isn't always your friend. Your mind can sometimes be your own, or can a lot of the times be your own worst enemy. I battle with my mind all the time. And I don't know how I feel about laying down and inducing a trance where I have to open up doors in my mind. But that's just my personal opinion on the game. There have been people who have played this game who claim that they invited something in, that they have nightmares all the time now, that they see things, that they're having traumatic experiences. There are people who believe they opened a door and invited something into their life that they never should have, that it was almost like a welcoming. And that's where, like I said, it all just depends on the individual's experience, because demons need permission to enter. Could there be some sort of a loophole where you open up a door, where you welcome yourself into a space that you're welcoming something in? There's always a possibility. But I just feel like the real threat in this game is what hides within our own personal minds. Now, I tried to Google a whole bunch of things, and I couldn't figure out what the significance of the old woman to avoid and the man in a suit to avoid was. Like, what is their purpose? What do they do? I want to know what you guys think of that. Have you guys personally heard what their role is in this ritual, in this game? If you have, let me know in the comments below, because I was unable to secure any sort of information saying what exactly would happen if you did talk to the man, or if you did talk to the old woman, or if you did stay in that room. So I'm definitely curious as to what is believed surrounding them. But other than that, I talked with Grams about this for a good 40 minutes today. I spoke to my uncle about it, and we all kind of feel as though this is just one of those games that people could have negative experiences with, because maybe they're opening doors and facing things that they otherwise wouldn't have. With that being said, I am so curious as to what you guys think of it. Have any of you tried it? If you have, let me know in the comments below your personal experience. If you even so much as know somebody who's tried it and they've had an experience, I'd love to read that as well. So make sure you guys go ahead and comment that down below. But that is it for today's video. With that being said, I am so thankful to you guys for requesting these things and enlightening me on these things and sharing with me all of the different paranormal games that you guys have heard of and all that jazz. So the comment section is always open to you guys making any sort of video suggestion. The comment section is always open to any video suggestions. And with that being said, that is it for today's video. Once again, I'd like to thank Function of Beauty for sponsoring this video. I super appreciate it. Like I said, you guys, link down in the description to receive 20% off. And yeah, if you're new to my channel or you are just not yet subscribed but you do enjoy my videos, I would super love it if you would go ahead and click that subscribe button. And please give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Remember, my loves, do all things with kindness, and until next time, I love you.